what are you doing over there? Redeeming the drunk fest. You want me to break out my cider? Alright, oh. Let's bring that tea over here. I'm kind of like a little bit frazzled because I thought I was ready to go, or just about ready to go, and then my cat was like, feed me right now. So, I did that. Oh no. Okay, there we go. We're good. I'm sorry for how loud that was. Man, I was trying to cool down the room and everything. It's so hot. Ah, that's summer for ya. Trying to spread the gospel of the liver. Alright. So we're gonna be working on her clothes, her hair, face, all of the things. Hopefully I'll get to the smoke by the end of it, but we'll see. There's my references. So unorganized. Hello there, Carrie. Do I drunk time? I mean, like, not right now. Not unless I just, like, the only thing I have right here in my room is a little bit of soju that I'm saving and a bottle of sake. That just, I don't feel right just drinking out of the bottle for that. Plus, we gotta do art, man. It's a skill of precision. Man. Maybe a little bit later. Maybe when there's like a little bit of break, a little bit of interim, I can get the sake out and get the cups out and everything. Splendid news! My internship is now officially over, so I'll be able to catch a lot of more streams. Ooh! So now that it's over, how do you feel about the whole experience? Do you feel like you learned a lot? Do you feel like it was really worth it? No more getting up at 7 a.m. Oh my goodness. I mean, that is pretty cool. It is nice to be able to sleep in. This is... Oh, I just left myself all of these little tiny layers. So I am so kind to myself. Okay, that's empty. Oh, I see. Alright. I was going to eventually merge everything down, but we're not quite there yet. Oh my lord. There we go. It is lagging something fierce. Is there like a download in the background that I don't know about? OBS, Google Chrome. Why are there 15 Google Chromes? I only have one tab open. I never understood that. Google Chrome always has like so many instances of itself. I just don't get it. I mean, in the task manager, visually, like as a normal computer user, I just have the one tab open, but it looks normal. NVIDIA containers and stupid Origin always running. I can never just turn that off completely. Okay, well, just the nature of the beast. I'm gonna have to probably optimize the Photoshop file soon. But let me turn the fire off so we get more accurate color here. Oh god. It's chugging. I have actually no idea. Used a bucket load of After Effects for small flashy animations, so I guess my timing and spacing improved a bit. Plus I was able to work with a really close friend who's a terrific storyboarder. Ooh, maybe you guys can do a collaboration. I'll be right back. Gotta take care of Luna. Luna comes first. She is a beautiful Oreo angel. And I hope you can hear that from where you are. Okay. Gonna clean up some lines, and it's gonna be great. Oh my god, these glasses. I've been using lower prescription glasses, and I'm just taking them off right now because it's easier to just look at my canvas with my normal eyes. But I'm a little bit blind when it comes to reading the chat, so I'm gonna have to like look over, squint, move really close to the screen. Such is life. Like, if I'm gonna be moving my face so close to the screen anyway, why even bother with glasses, right? Is that how it works? On top of that, I think I managed to kind of come up with the topic for my bachelor's thesis. The depiction of weight and movement in 2D animation. A classic. I'm gonna move the screen slightly here. Squint, please don't become a boomer. No, my eyes are crap. I'm very, very, very nearsighted. So, I always have to squint if I'm not wearing glasses. I've gotten really good at being able to guesstimate people's facial expressions. And like, where they're looking, staring at a blurry blob. But it's always disconcerting when like someone's talking to me and I have like my lower quality glasses currently because of this glasses fiasco, or I'm just not wearing anything because I'm like, I think it's weird because you don't realize how much you rely on body language. I guess that's part of body language, facial expressions. So, like, I understand from the tone of their voice and everything, like, how they feel and what they're saying, right? But if they're just, like, giving me a look or something, like, there's a lot of nonverbal communication that we do, and I lose so much of that. That's not something we normally think about. Body language is difficult. When you can't see, it is. When I can see, it's fine. But, yeah, I need to merge this down now, I think. Well, not necessarily now, but... it should just probably be for the best. And that's what this layer was, right? The line work? Come on, man! No, it's not. It's like some line work. Dang it! Dang it! Oh, it's down here, okay. I'm gonna save, and then wait a little bit, because it's gonna take a second. Save this as a new document and merge it down. Just in case I do something horribly wrong. It's always nice to have a backups. Since we have so much storage capacity these days, I will totally do that. Ooh. No! I'm planning a few trips to the zoo to get animal bodies down on paper. I like it. Field research. I remember watching something that had to do with the Disney classic animation movies, like Bambi, and how they went to like a zoo and stuff to look at deer. And they stared at milk dropping to get the water droplets just right. Oh my god. I moved it. Didn't mean to move it, but I moved it. Okay. I was wondering why it was so slow, and I was like, oh, it's because I moved something in the canvas. I've heard that the Lion King remake tried hard to be realistic and made the body language way too difficult to decipher. Yeah, no, I heard the same thing with that. It's interesting that, I mean, you have these, like, supposedly really skilled, really professional people working in those kind of studios, right? So they understand the principles of animation. They understand the principles of, like, how to create a relatable character in an animal, and why those things work in human psychology, right? Like, all of that stuff. And it's kind of odd that with these educated people knowing this, it feels so odd to me that they would go in that direction with trying to make really realistic animals, which is fine on just that alone. Like, let's make some realistic Lion King, right? Like, that's something that could have potential, but to make a realistic Lion King that's so close to the original Lion King, because the original Lion King had so much of its own style, and it tried to create very relatable characters. Like, you can't have, I think, both worlds very easily, because there was that jarring feeling of people being like, this is too realistic. You couldn't really connect with the characters on a level that you were supposed to connect with, like in the old Lion King. Like, the songs were all watered down because they were more, not realistic, but they were more mature or something, apparently. Like, they were more edgy is the wrong word. But that was what I was, like, kind of getting from people. The animals were so realistic. They didn't have, like, whites in their eyes or eyebrow movement or anything that, like, we as humans relate to really well. But that's what I've been hearing about it. I still really want to kind of see it just because I'm, like, an art nerd, and I think I'll really enjoy it on just a technical level of like 3D rendering, but yeah, it would have been better for them to really make it their own, like how I think Carrie Dwin and I were talking about it, like the Maleficent thing where they took that world and they made like a new story from it, a spin on the original story, because it's still like that original story, but it's just from a different perspective. It makes it its own thing. But you know, they're gonna do what they're gonna do because it's Disney, and you know they gotta remake everything. It went so quiet, I thought the stream froze. Nope, I was in the art zone. If I don't reply, I've fallen asleep. I had 3 hours of sleep last night, and it's just because I got a bit emotional. Oh, I'm not good with farewells. Oh, I see. We made it too photorealistic. Don't blame the artist, blame the director. Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, even those directors, to be in that kind of position, you're supposed to know all those fundamentals. You're supposed to have all that knowledge to draw from to make really sound decisions when you're presiding over this larger body of art, you know? Because you have all the artists, like, in the team working on specific bits. You have the director that sees the whole big picture. They should be aware of all that stuff. But it's okay, because Disney, I'm sure, still made its money. And definitely was able to redo its copyright, so at the end of the day, it's just a shame, because a realistic Lion King, I mean, like, it's hard to pull off, but it would be pretty cool. And I think if you just make it a little bit looser, like, they could have easily had a 3D Lion King, and it would have been fine. Just be a little bit, more cartoony, I guess. Like, I always liked, Brave as a really good example of that, where you have the mother turning into a bear, and you can instantly tell when it's her and when it's not her. And that's because that it, like, the art and the body language, all of that stuff, like, they know how the human mind works, and they worked with that. Having the bear have a little bit of white in their eyes, a little bit more body language that we can relate to, it changes everything. A more awareness of her daughter and stuff. It's just, it's an art form in and of itself. But I'm betting that they really were just trying to push more technical, mechanical boundaries, like, yeah, how realistic can we make it? And then it's a marvel in that way. The recent Disney movies, Eddie came out, they lost their magic. Wow. I somehow muted you, and I was sitting here wondering why the heck I couldn't hear you. Oh no. Carrie with all the audio problems. Yeah, the original was expressive. I think also 3D might, like, I mean, 3D can be very expressive, but 2D has a lot of, like, they really learned, that was like a culmination of, like, so much knowledge, right, with the stretching and the squashing, the fluidity of the character. You can bend it and move it in certain ways that will look kind of freaky, but it works because of, like, physics and expressions. And I think 3D, like, you really have to know your stuff in order to do that and not have it look janky. And the new movies, Carrie Jordan and I were talking, and she kind of raised a good point, and I kind of think that it's probably true. Like, they probably don't care I mean, they care about quality, right? It's the Disney brand. They want their brand to still be good. But I think like their first priority was copyright. They can't extend copyright law anymore in this country, I think. So things are starting to come out of copyright. And if they make these new movies, they can still hold on to the content. They just have to, I think, make it different enough. Like, I don't know the minutia of it, but I think that's pretty much what they're doing. Like, that's their focus is keeping copyright. So they have to make it sort of similar, but sort of different. And that's what we're ending up with. So it's not really about, like, the craft. It's just regurgitation. I could be totally wrong, though. It's just my one opinion. I mean, to be fair, they're also doing these remakes just to renew their... Yeah. My totally not biased opinion, 2D over 3D. I want Disney's 9 Old Men back. I mean, I like both. I think 3D is still young yet, and people are still learning what to do with it. Right now, the hyper-focus is on how realistic can we make things. How realistic. And there's just so much more potential to 3D than just making something hyper-realistic, you know? So I think the industry just... They tend to get into this single-minded idea of chasing after something, beating that dead horse, and then turning slightly, and then narrowing their focus once again on like what seems to be popular, what's the moneymaker. I think that's what it is right now. They're just really caught up on the realistic nature of it. But once we get to the point where, as humans, we look at something and we can accept it as pretty much realistic, they'll probably start experimenting more and more, and I think that'll probably be a good thing overall for the art form. Because you'll see more finished pieces that aren't all just about realistic graphics. Because I mean, like, I wanna like 3D. In a lot of cases, I do enjoy it. I love 2D and I love 3D, but it does stink when I get the feeling that they're just making sacrifices in quality just to have that shiny technical masterpiece. Like, I like things that are a little bit more authentic than that. I like authenticity in general. You know, when you see a little bit of those scratchy lines in those old 2D animations, I love that because it was like handmade with love and blood and sweat and tears, because doing that is really, really hard to do. I mean, any of them are really hard to do, but... I'm not a fan of that hyper-realistic-y stuff. Heck logic. I think it's got its place. I mean, it's really, really helpful in actual, like in movies with actual actors and stuff, right? The 3D effects that you can get now, seamlessly blending fantasy imagination with quote-unquote reality, like those real actors, is awesome. You can have, like, people that might have died come back to life and make a quick cameo. You can have so much. So I think as a medium, it's definitely something that's got full potential. Right now, though, it's still in that phase where humans, it's the uncanny valley. But we're getting really close to it just all being pretty realistic. And then I don't know what Disney's gonna do, but I hope it chills out and just goes back to just focusing on story and character. Because that's really where they were strong. Really where they're always strong. When they focus on that, they can come out with really good movies. Potentially, yes, definitely. As soon as real holograms become a mainstream thing, shit will probably hit the fan. Yeah. I mean, capitalism always has its downsides. If in terms of that kind of shit hitting the fan. But there's, like, it seems to be an innate quality in us as humans. Like, we always want to create, we always want to make something. So, even from the most unlikely of places, there's someone that's making something pretty awesome, or at least trying to. So even like with holograms like that, I could see someone making something really cool. Okay, I need to put this on, because I need to see what I'm doing here. I don't know how I'm going to convert this later, but I'm not going to worry about it just yet. I mean, obviously I'm worrying a little bit, but... There's a little bit of green there. Okay. Capitalism is what works the best at the moment. Well, it certainly has its claws in most things. And I feel like that's the biggest thing. If it's something that's the most used, it's kind of hard to switch to anything else. Like Steam. That divisive nature. people not wanting to switch to Epic or get another launcher. Dang it. keeps happening. Okay. I can't actually change my brush size unless I tap the canvas, which is inconvenient. I forget if her eyebrows are super dark or not. That should do it. Okay. Really want to work on rim lighting. Oops. There we go. Yeah. Welcome back. It is so hot in this room! Or at least, like, I can be in it the moment before stream. Once I'm streaming, it always feels like it's way hotter in here. Not so much when I'm, like, playing a game, but when I'm doing art. Just like, oh my god, I'm battling the heat here. Probably because the screen is warm. Which I guess will be really nice for winter. Like, I get to cuddle up to my art tablet. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm like super quiet. Very focused. I'm trying to get this done. Well, try to get a good chunk more done on it. Just in the zone. Pretty much. And also, if I'm like super focused on this, I'm not focused on the fact that I want to sweat balls. Maybe it's because I closed my door. It could be what's doing it. A little tiny button. Whoa, is it raining? It indeed is. Look at them. I'm like telling myself I shouldn't try to make a perfect line there because I can just mask it later. And if I screw up at all, I'm gonna have to do extra work. But I tried to make it as clean as possible. trying not to do any shading, and it's really hard to curb my desire to just do it. Done a little bit. I mean, like the face I did all at once. And here and there. But I'm trying to keep it very light so I can do some bulk shadow and light later. Hey, cat. Oh, you're looking for food. That's why you went up there. Being a jerk. Okay. I mentioned thunder when I was on the phone, so it could be coming your way, or you're lucky I missed it. Not the rain part, but the other storm bits. The part that would make it so that my stream might disappear. It's a good thing that that missed me. Or at the very least, will hopefully be delayed till after the stream. I'm all for nature doing its thing, just, you know, when it's not completely inconveniencing. Yeah. That takes forever. Dang, man. It's down pretty quick, but when it comes to polishing, goodness. I think, like, brushes for this kind of a thing would be good. But even so, like, to get the arm, well, I guess you could probably, free transform warp it. There's probably faster ways of doing this then. Use the brushes. Alcos! Hello! Dang it. Don't you dare slow down, Photoshop. Finally had a chance to stream again. Ah. This is all the progress we've made so far. Oop. That smoke on there. Voila! I don't know when's the last time you saw this particular stream, so... How are you, Muse? Oh, I'm good. Just been busy this month. Gonna get my replacement glasses soon. I'm super happy about that. Just gonna do this because easier doing that than going back and forth because we've got lag, guys. Oh. Dang it. Come on. Come on! Good enough. No. No! Good enough. Totally winging it on where I think the firelight would be. Yeah, it's good enough. I'll be able to do the super bright shine later. Glasses are important. I'm glad you like the picture. Yeah. Glasses are important. I actually can't legally drive without some kind of corrective lens. Fun fact about me. The more you know. I almost feel like I should close out the program and open it again, just kind of do a random. My mom. I read that far too late, I'm sure. Gotta make the shape right first. My mom can barely see at long distances without glasses, yet she drives without glasses or lenses. Oh. Just pressed enter too early. Oh. Well, for me, it's illegal. It's actually on my license. If I get stopped for any reason and the cop looks at my license and sees that I'm not wearing contacts or glasses, I'm in trouble. And if I know the area, or if it's like an emergency, I can still see things. The problem is that I can't read signs or anything. So it's just I don't feel comfortable driving that way. Obviously, the state doesn't feel comfortable me driving that way. My mom is an outlaw. It's illegal here too? Oh my. I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't want the limitation on my license if I had the chance, just because it gives me more freedom, but at what cost? It's funny, there was a few occasions where I walk out the door and I'm like, wait, I need to go get my glasses. Because around the house, I'll sometimes just not wear them. I think it's kind of good for your eyes, every once in a while to exercise them like that. Because then they don't get used to seeing in one particular way. It's kind of like not staring too long at a monitor, or really any set distance for a very long period of time. I feel like the lenses are kind of similar, where your eyes get used to it. So it's kind of been a blessing in disguise here for me having to use contacts and my old glasses, my really old glasses, because I feel like it's really kind of given my eyes a little miniature workout. Not to the point like I'm getting eye strain or anything, but it's just making them work their muscles a little bit differently. It's like, as far as I'm aware, they can get worse if you're overprescribed a corrective lens. Your eyes get used to that and they adjust to that. Just like they can get worse if you don't use you don't use your muscles in a certain staring at a certain distance for a long period of time. They don't use the muscles in the way that they're supposed to. So by that logic, I feel like the inverse would be true, where if you take the glasses off, it'll work out. Not that I expect to cure my vision in any profound sense. But if I can make the muscles a little bit stronger, they'll last a bit longer. So I think largely, my problem is that, my lens is shaped oddly. My vision is the mechanical function is fine. It's the lens that I have is faulty. I'm not sure if that's an effect of any of the muscles at all. If certain muscles are weaker and certain muscles are stronger, you know how in your body, when you have your neck tight on one side or something, it can pull your vertebrae out of alignment, or when you pop and crack, it's just certain muscles are too tight for too long, and it kind of gets things out of arrangement. I wonder about the impact of weaker or stronger muscles around the eye, pulling the eye in different ways, to then impact the lens by stretching or shrinking it over time. Well, not shrinking. Stretching it in horizontal or vertical ways, or diagonally. These are all not they're oddly shaped, and I hate it. And my logic just keeps telling me that if it was handmade, it would be imperfect, but it still kills me. The clothing and also painting it by hand on the glass. The last time I used glasses was 12. I remember the first time I slept with them on, and then I woke up. I could still see a ghost of the glasses even when I took them off. Really? I bugged my brain. Interesting. I'd never been like that. Seeing a ghost of the glasses. The worst thing I've had as far as ghosting goes is when I was, I had a 3D project due, and I had to create a cat or something, and I was working so hard on it, trying to get it done in time, that when I closed my eyes, I would just see vertices and edges. It was a sign. I don't know why I'm getting the color over there when I could just get it here, but that's what I'm doing. Weird how I can see things that aren't there. True. But I think it was more of just the overstimulation of that. Kind of like when you stare at something for too long and then you quickly look at a white wall and then you can see the after image of it. I think in my particular case that was kind of what was happening. Right. Okay. Save! So some lines are so much darker than these. You're probably listening to pop music? Maybe. I was actually nervous at one point about the music because it had vocalizations. I mean, I'm just playing game music, so I can't, unfortunately, I don't have the time to like be super careful about picking out really good game music that isn't copyrighted in some capacity. So I kind of just go hope for the best and put on game music. There's probably people that have compiled playlists by now, so I can look into that. But yeah, it stinks. If it were up to me, I would play a specially made, like I would just make my own playlist. Something with some nice chill vibes. And I kind of have that on Spotify, but it's not super good with having a game music library. It has some, but not everything. And it's also a pain half the time to run YouTube in the background when I'm like playing a game or something. So when I'm doing these streams, I'll play like YouTube music. But for the rest of it is Spotify. This playlist on Spotify. Yes. I have a few. I really like listening to Spotify for the majority of my music listening, because YouTube can be too distracting if I just want to put music on. And it's really bad at like organizing your library, essentially. They used to have better categories and stuff for people that you wanted to like and all this other stuff, but like it's just Spotify is much easier, it's nice and quick. Go right to that. Alright, so I just have the one elbow pad, it looks like. And I can get the shading. Getting on the wrong layer. Oops. These are so close together. Too close.
Dark of night, a foot of snow, pure and white and deadly. My father took me by the hand and asked me, are you ready? He took me up beyond the trees to where the rock is bare. He took me to a frozen lake and made me say a prayer.
What about Spotify ads? No. That is my answer to that question. One way on it.
Dark of night, a foot of snow.
Actually, I don't think the ads are too bad on Spotify, now that I'm thinking back on them. Because I think it was like, they would play something and then you'd have a half an hour, like, ad-free or something if you listened to a full-sized ad. So, like, the ratio wasn't abhorrent last I was aware.
Dark of night reveals snow, my father killed me. I watched my blood soak through the snow and knew he walked within me. I called my father's name and offered one last prayer. The ice cracked on the frozen lake, my father's love was there. Dark of night, a foot of snow, bloody red and steaming. He called his father's name once more, but he had left him bleeding.
That's a little bit better. Right? Going from that to that. And now, let me get some from Vines. Well, we have like 4. I realize I might screw with my hair later, but I don't care.
I feel my father's love once more. My father cries my name. My father cries my name.
Eraser. Just be an ad at every half hour? That doesn't quite work for me. Ah. See, that's reasonable enough. Like, if you're gonna be serving me ads, I can live with that ratio. When it comes to ads, most of the time I just assume they're gonna abuse the system. It might start out fine if they're a brand new business, but eventually... Did you change your mic? I mean, recently? No. My audio stuff got reset again because OBS likes to do that. And one of the filters got reset. The noise subtractor thingy. So I had to create a new profile. Because I did that a while back. I don't know if you were in the stream for that. Trying to up the quality of the stream a little bit. No. I'm worried it's gonna get blown out. Oh. Alright. It's a little blown. But, alright. Yeah, I think I need to work more on this part here, redirecting the light, because there's some more going on here with the fire. And before I forget, she makes this a little bit cooler. Try to bring this arm back a little. Which I am wondering if instead something like that. Something like that. So it pushes it a little bit further away. Of course, now I lost the color. So I guess this is a good spot to stop. So I'll have to get that color and put it on the palette. Not bad. We'll save and end stream here. Speaking of mic, I want to get rid of mine and take my audio interface with it. Oh. I was very displeased when I was packing to move out and I realized that I had to use 2 bags for it. Like my head, the acceptable amount is 1 backpack. Maybe 1 bag for extra clothes. Oh my. Well, you know, rock that minimalist lifestyle. Thank you guys for coming around, hanging out. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed. Spread the word if you did, because it helps. Check out the events tab on the Twitch channel to know what will be streaming next. I don't think there's going to be any cancellations or delays or anything. However, I do have an appointment on Thursday. The eye doctors. I imagine that, you know, it's not going to impede anything, but just in case, I'm like giving you a heads up now. And check out the Discord if you have not yet done so. I think that's pretty much it. Drunk fest stream. I forgot you redeemed that. Alright, so if you have comments or feedback about the stream, you can share them by using the feedback links on the Twitch info panel or the Read Me text channel on the Discord. And as always, from my heart to yours, good luck!